Today we want to highlight Pearson's ability to be your single source supplier. And with me here is Stuart Cooper, our Chief Revenue Officer, who has been helping customers automate their packaging lines for nearly 4 decades. Hi Stuart.
Hi Suzanne, how are you today?
Good. In your experience, what benefits do customers appreciate the most when they can source all of their equipment from one vendor?
Well, other than the obvious of just issuing one purchase order to cover and cut their administration costs down, they get the benefit of one project manager as a point of contact when they work with Pearson. They also get the benefit that a lot of people overlook, and that's putting the machines together so that those machines function correctly. And by that, I mean the interfaces between the equipment. They are so often overlooked. You buy machines from different people, and there's always a trip up, a catch point. Someone didn't think of a transfer, and so on and so forth. It's a small item, but it's very significant. And buying from one source, you can engineer those issues out. You can make certain that when you deliver, you're delivering equipment that talks to each other. And by that, I mean high level, low level detection for if you need to stop machines. The transfers between machines are as they should be. You don't turn a box, you don't turn a case, and so on and so forth. So the small things really come into play, and that's what a single source supplier does. A lot of people supply the same types of machinery that we do. The case erectors, the case packers, the case sealers. But it's actually joining them together to give you that harmonious flow of product throughout the production line, knowing that if there is a stop somewhere, all the other machines know what to do in that sequence. And then the error recovery to get them back up and running is systematic. It's into each machine. So you're not trying to guess what another machine supplier's done in terms of how to recover. You're recovering your own equipment as you want to recover it to bring a line back up and running. And again, it seems a small point, but when you're looking at output and when you're looking at efficiency, which is what we offer the market, high output, high efficiency, that is a really important side of the single source supply. And one I think every customer fails to fully understand. And it's our job to really help them understand that and show them the value of that single source supply.
What about the HMI and just that interface so that training isn't so hard? You have the same HMI interface on every single equipment.
I think that's critical. And again, I think that's something that's overlooked. We all know there's a shortage of labor. We all know there's a drop in the skill sets of the labor we can have. If we can make machines intuitive, you can move from one machine to another. The screens look the same. The machines act the same way. You get a huge benefit. The training curve goes down. The ability to deploy operators onto different machines goes up. And of course, there's another benefit to that. Our service people, when they're needed, they have the same picture on each machine. They're not having to be specialists on machines. They now have that same commonality through. So again, commonality in transfers, commonality in HMIs, small things, but huge things for performance and efficiency.
So Pearson can be a single source supplier. That's why we're talking about this today. But that doesn't mean that we're a one size fits all. So help our customers understand, where does Pearson fit specifically? Where do we specialize in?
Our business model is around erect, pack, seal, and palletize. And as you say, one system doesn't suit everything. So we have standardized on top load case packing, and we've standardized on using robotics to do that. It gives us a lot of flexibility. Why do we use the top load? Because it allows us to handle products both in a horizontal and a vertical fashion. And that's what the customers are driving for now. You've all heard the term shelf ready. More and more customers need to move to shelf ready. Products need to be standing upright in cases. By using the types of machines that we deploy, the robotic solutions, we can manipulate the product into the case either horizontally or vertically. Now, we do not handle things like bottles. There's different methods to handle bottles. When it comes to pouches, flexible products, those are really in our wheel well, and those are the products that we have a tremendous amount of knowledge in handling. And we can handle it both horizontally, vertically, and at rates that are relatively high in the market today. So 300 a minute is not really a huge stretch for Pearson in terms of managing those types of products. And again, by having the erector and the packer and the sealer and the palletizer, not so close coupled, but within the same area, all controlled the same way, you're building efficiency. You've always got that accumulation between machines, between erector and packer. There's an accumulation, so if there's a little hiccup on the case erector, you have the ability to have cases in line, the case packer keeps running. And that's part of our philosophy as well. Again, each piece of machinery, an independent, linked, talking, but providing very high efficiency.
The kind of products that were really well suited to handle for that top load case packing is anything that's flexible packaging, right? Just from the vacuum picking perspective.
Flexible packages, yeah, we can also handle cartons. There's a little twist to doing that, but it's, as long as the carton is laying horizontal in the case, you can absolutely handle cartons where you can use the 6-axis. But where we really do shine is in the flexible side of things. Frozen products, whether they're proteins, whether they're vegetables, we have the solutions to handle those and have been doing so for a very, very long time. I've been doing it robotically. And now with the advent of 3D vision, with AI coming into play, there's a lot more things we can do to actually manipulate that product much more successfully for the customer and give them that repeatability. So yes, we should be focusing our attentions on the flexible side of the market. That's where our real strengths are. As I said, drop packing bottles, that's not our forte. But obviously it's a piece of packaging equipment, but not what we do. We're looking to handle product horizontally, vertically into cases.
All right. Well, thank you for your insight. Let's also not forget that when you deal with a single source supplier, the aftermarket support, parts support, and the service support becomes much more efficient. So thank you, Stuart, for your time. And I hope that if you're looking for a single source supplier for your end-of-line packaging, that we will hear from you soon.